Hi. Okay, I can see Manal joined. Hi, Manal. Just checking if I... All right, let's get started. Discussion today, and I'm just hear me. Is there a way to see the comments? Oh, okay. Speaking. Is my voice clear? That way I can just know if I should raise my voice or change the mic or something like that. Okay. So just to get started, we're going to be discussing managing the digital presence of your physical stores or your physical shops, physical offices, branches. I'm going to an example. Last night, and this is a real life example. Last night I was at home with. We decided that she mentioned she wanted to have some cake, a specific cake from a specific place. We had been to this place a couple of days before, and when we went home, we ate it. It was, we wanted some more a couple of days later, but we could not remember the name. And it was a sort of a newer store in Dubai Mall, so we couldn't remember where it was. But I knew where it was located, so I just Google Maps and find it. I knew exactly where the store was. So I went onto Google Maps, I looked, knew that it was between Pret-a-Manger and okay, and this is where the store was located, but it was not this. It's a clothing store. So we continued to search. I thought maybe I could find the name of this place, and the reason I wanted the place instead of going there was I wanted to order it or have it delivered to my apartment instead of going down there. So I thought I'd ask them at least. So I said, okay, well, what do I know that it's a desserts place. I mean, I'm sure if I get enough search terms in there, I'll be able to find it. I know that it's a desserts place. I know that it's in Dubai Mall. Of Turkish origin. It's a Turkish, and I know that it opened. Now the problem here is that I just can't remember the name. So what I did was I entered this information into Google. Several searches. This is one of the searches I did. Turkish Sweets Cafe in Dubai. What was returned were these results. A few results that came out were what we call results. Google realizes the search that I'm doing for something that's in my local area, and so it tries to return results that are relevant to my search within that local area. Into the results that are at the bottom, the familiar blue links that take me to other websites. Results. And if you look, the search term was new Turkish Sweets Cafe in Dubai Mall. The results was Turkish cafes, or Turkish restaurants. These are relevant to the search term, and places that have dessert or delight in some of the comments. So this is reviews, the listing as well as the reviews within the listing to try and find something relevant for me. But I also went to the mall directory for Dubai Mall. So I went to the Dubai Mall website. I looked through the directory of stores, and I looked through. I didn't know the name, but I thought if I saw it, I would. This is where it should have been, but just to step back a bit. As we saw here, previous slide, these local pack results, it returned, and it's worth noting why did it pick these, and how Google ranks these results based on a few different. This is just local search results, not the general search results. So it ranks it based on relevance. So how relevant is the result to the search that we did? For Turkish sweets, it returned places that were Turkish in the category, so Turkish restaurants in the category, as well as things that had sweets in the or desserts in the search results. So that means that those were relevant. The second thing is distance. How far was the result from? So it said that I was in downtown Dubai, so it tried close by. Third thing is prominence. Is the place. How does Google determine how well known a place is? So, for example, if I search for a dessert place in Dubai Mall, what should it return for me? This place in Dubai Mall would be Cheesecake Factory. Okay, so how does it know that this is the most well-known one? Well, it will look across and it will try to collect reviews from everywhere as well as links from everywhere. And if it finds a lot of places talking about this as a dessert place, then it will say this is a prominent place. So prominence is lots of different things. It's how many, it's the types of reviews that you see, not just on Google, but elsewhere, how good your website is, and And so based on that, the ranked results that come back from Google will be ranked based on these. So I could have a place that's very close to me, ranks very poorly, it ranks in the end, because it's not relevant to my search and it's not prominent. So back to my search for a specific piece of cake. We almost gave up because I kept on searching. I think I must have searched for about 15 minutes. I couldn't find the place. So I thought, you know what, let's just use Uber Eats and cake from Magnolia's Bakery before, and we'll just get a couple of cupcakes and that'll be the end of it. Unfortunately, my wife didn't have the same feeling and she really wanted that cake. So I changed and I went outside. I did it the old-fashioned way. I walked 15 minutes to the mall. I found the store, and this picture I took when I arrived at the store. This is the name of the store, so obviously it's not a simple, it's a rather long and complicated name. So, and it's not recognized, a brand that's recognizable to me. And I picked up a piece of cake and I came home. Now, this is an example of how it was difficult for me to, if it's a product that I wanted and that I really wanted, and I didn't have all of the information, and so I used the tools that I had at hand in order to be able to find it, and I should have been able to find it with these tools, but I couldn't. Jump into some of the meat of this after we've kind of looked at that example. I was trying to find something nearby to where I was. I was trying to use my location in order to figure out a product or service near me in order to use it. So today, doing the same thing with smartphones. And the way that smartphones are being used today, it's really changed the customer behavior. Customers no longer simply go out and look for something in the street or look for street signs, or they don't rely upon these as the way of finding things. And they don't use their laptops and their computers in order to be able to find it. Most of them will be using their smartphones. And in fact, in places, their first interaction with the internet will be through a smartphone. We jumped the landline phone directly into the mobile phones. في نفس الوقت we jumped the computer and معظم الناس ابتدت ان هي تستخدم through the smartphone. And as time goes by and more smartphone penetration occurs, people using the internet through the smartphone only. Now, this usage of through the smartphone usage of the internet allows you. Are doing that. In Egypt, in 2018, and these numbers are, or at least the numbers at the top are for Egypt, the growth in what's called near me search in 2018 was about 900. What does this mean? If people who are searching for things that are, and they don't just type restaurant, they type near me, they type pharmacy near me. So they are constantly searching for things that are close by and nearby them in order to be able to take some kind of action. It doesn't really mean that they're going to go to the place. It could be but the fact of the matter is that they are searching for something near them in order to be able to take an action. They will not add the words near me to it. Now, Google has taken notice of this explosive growth. It's actually previously in the cake example, when it realizes that a search is a local search, it adds the near me dimension into the search. So when I search for cake places, it will assume it's near me. When I'm searching for a pharmacy, if I just type in pharmacy, it will assume that I'm near me. And you can try this out with your. If you type in something that looks like a local search, it will automatically assume that you're trying to find something close by, and it will suggest results to you. In general, and these numbers are more from the US, but I mean, to one degree or the other, is that 4 out of 5 local mobile searches result in a purchase, right? So if I do a search on my mobile for a local service or product, I will probably 4 out of 5 times within the next few days I'll be going there in order to purchase something. And about half of those conversions actually occur within the first hour of initial mobile search. Now, smartphones have just changed the way customers find. So today, about 73% of high intent traffic goes to these new services. When somebody is planning on going there, he's planning on doing something, he or she is usually doing it through Facebook, Google, or one of the new services, rather than going to the website of the business. Now, keep in mind here, we're not talking about specifically about e-commerce. We're talking about somebody who's going to a physical store. If they're going to the website, then they're going to the website maybe to find a store locator to take them to the physical store. But if they're going for e-commerce, then that's a different story. And obviously, the path to get to the customer there, or the path from the customer to the business there is. So what do we focus on? We focus on what's called local search optimization. We focus on helping your physical stores and branches get found online. Where it's different than search engine marketing, it's different than search engine optimization, and it's different than social media marketing. And the result is that you get increased views on your listings, and you get increased come to your stores. And we'll just jump into some numbers. Now, these are real world numbers for real who is with us, and these are the types of increases that they've gotten through using, through working local, basically managing their online presence for their physical stores. Okay, so over the course of about a year and a half, explosive growth in search results. So they're in search results much more often than they used to, and just as closely, if April till today, they've grown from, let's say, 70,000 times they were returned in search results in that month. About 500,000 times they're returned in search results. So that means their listings are appearing 10 times more often than they were before. The same stores also saw explosive growth in the customer actions. Customer actions are when somebody looks for directions, or when somebody tries to make a phone call, or when somebody clicks. So when somebody tries to request a store, when they're making a phone call, it means that they are planning on asking for something. If it's a pharmacy, order food, order medicine. If they're calling a restaurant, maybe it's to order some food. If they're calling maybe a garage or something like that, then maybe it's to find to maybe ask about operating hours if they're not listed or something like that. And as well, getting to go to the location itself and conduct business. For some industries, website clicks don't feature prominently, but other industries they do. What we found, for example, in gyms, or website clicks, other industries because people want to, you know, click, see the classes. Happens though when a customer clicks on their listing, and so they search for something, and they click on the listing, and these are the types of results that they find. So this is a listing for a real listing for a bank in Egypt. I don't want to say the name of the bank, but to the bank itself. And the picture is, I think, I don't know what this is. It's either Gambari or something like that. Like a shrimp. Tamam. And this is not a claimed listing. So this is the result that the person gets. Is he more likely or less likely after seeing this to go to the place? Another listing. This is for Western Union. A picture with a child on things. It has nothing to do with Western Union. Now, others that are like this, and you can see that in the first one, this is not a claimed business. It's not being managed by the business itself. Okay, and since it's not being managed by the business itself, then you know, maybe the picture has been put by a customer and nobody is looking at it. But in the remaining two, these are being claimed, these are verified, these are managed by a business, and still you see, you know, pictures are as they are. See examples of other verified and managed businesses, managed listings. Armani and Armani Exchange in Dubai, and you can see the map markers for them are placed here in the middle of the road, West Sheikh Zayed Road. All right, the pictures as well, pictures that don't have anything to do with Armani or fashion. Well, maybe this one does, but not Armani fashion. You can see here that they're missing hours, both of them. There is a phone number, but they're missing hours. You can even see that the website is the correct website. So somebody is managing this, but they're not managing. So if I was to look for Giorgio Armani and I needed to go to Giorgio Armani and then I would be lost. I would be in the middle of the road. Suddenly you've arrived, but I haven't arrived in the middle of the road. Okay, keep in mind, we're not talking about not claimed and verified locations. We're talking about locations that have been claimed, are verified, and are being managed by somebody, but we don't know exactly, probably the business if they're in the middle of the road like that. As well, you can see just about getting your information right on Google, because Google itself is looking at other platforms. And here you can see an example of Google looking at images. So this is a Google listing for a steakhouse. And here you can see the reviews are coming from Facebook. So Google is enriching its data by taking information from Facebook, from Foursquare, and others, right? Zomato as well as Travel, and so it's taking information, it's putting it, it's embedding it in its listing, and trying to provide more information for its customers. Not just saying, okay, these are the reviews from Google, these are the reviews from Facebook. Maybe there's more information there. Here you can also see an app searching its information from TripAdvisor, taking the star rating from TripAdvisor, and maybe even the entire listing from TripAdvisor and putting it there and saying, okay, look, this is information that I've taken from the internet. So it's not just important to get your information right on Google, you have to get your information right everywhere. If you look across the different, you take one specific listing and look at that one listing. So this is the, and this is the same Meetco, this is the same, all three of them are exactly the same, but it's the same location on different platforms. So in the first one, you can see they have like incorrect hours and there's no menu. In the second one, there's no menu and there's no operating hours. And you can even see here these two are steakhouses, but here it's a restaurant. But okay, well, it's a steakhouse as well. But here you'll find that the hours are not the same as on Instagram. You'll take a look. You click on this to go to the website, and you'll find that the link doesn't even work. It'll take you to a link. So what does this mean? I mean, even if you take an example of another business, Pizza Express Live, on their website they say that their operating hours are from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. Saturday to Wednesday. On Thursday and Friday, they're 11 a.m. If you go to Google Pizza, if you go to Google, the same location it's open from noon to 1 a.m. every day. So there's 1 hour in the beginning that's missing. Saturday, on Friday, on Thursday and Friday that are missing at the end, right? Facebook, you will find it's all 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. So on Thursday and Friday, no. If you click on Around Me, which is another application that shows information on businesses, it'll say it's open from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So sorry, 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. TripAdvisor will say it's from 11 a.m. to midnight. Again, different than all the. And if you call the place, if you actually give them a call now, they will tell you they're open from 11:30 a.m. So there's still a half-hour difference on the website, even if you call the staff at the place. So the idea is there's a lot of inconsistent information that's out there. If you look at reviews as well, there's a lack of, and this is an example with another restaurant in Dubai, and so the one on the left is Eat Greek, and the one on the right are some restaurants that are actually doing a better job when it comes to reviews. This again helps with prominence, right? Helps with increasing your ranking and increasing your rating. Here you can see people are giving bad reviews, or reviews that are with them, and with these you can see there are also bad reviews. The owner is responding to those reviews on Google. He's saying, I'm sorry, you had a bad experience. And what happens here is that it's important to monitor and analyze these reviews. Right? It's not, you can't just simply dismiss the reviews and say, well, some people are going to be happy. No, we have to sit down and look at these reviews in order to be able to figure out how to either improve ourselves or to address these issues. We need to by responding to the reviews, we engage with our customers, tell them what maybe even send a message. We give a voice to our friends. We can say, for example, you didn't have a good experience, or the service was bad. The first words in my response should be the best experience. Now that helps with two things. It helps with Google looking at these responses and using them, right? Using the text that's in them. And it also helps with, if people come and see the bad review, they also see the response from the, okay, well, these are the messages about the brand, about our brand as a business. We pride ourselves on the best service. We use the best ingredients, using those types of words, and they will actually help with the as well. So responding to the review as well, when you respond to the review, you actually get a star increase in your average review star rating. The third is to generate reviews. So try doing different ways to try and improve the number of reviews that you're getting. Okay, with reviews, it really is about two things. It's about recency, which is, when was the last review posted? Was it a week ago, or was it a month ago, or was it a year ago? So you want reviews coming all the time, so that there's reviews that are recent, they came in recently. The second is the quantity. So how many reviews do you have? You have 500 reviews. 500 reviews is much better than 5. Lastly is the one that we all know about, which is the stars that you have, so the rating itself. And that's important as well. Having more stars is obviously better. So if we take a step back, if we want to put this all together, we say that customers today are taking different paths because they're carrying around a mobile with them and they can change direction while they're in the store. And they have so many more tools at their the way that they arrive at business is varying. It's different now. So for Sarah, she maybe arrived at your business by asking friends on Facebook for recommendations. She goes on Facebook and she says, well, you know, I need a recommendation for a nice salon. There's recommendations. And they tell her, you know, it's, you know, salon XYZ. So she's naturally already on Facebook. So she starts searching on Facebook for the salon. Maybe she doesn't find it. You know? And Facebook here, if you click on the maps on Facebook, you'll find that they use here maps in order to be able to. So they use data and information from here, which is another platform, in order to enrich their experience. So having the information also helps. So she doesn't find it there. So what does she do next? She checks on Google, finds the location there, and then goes to the store. All right. So now here we've gone through 3 different ways to find the place. Hossein checks on Google and finds a location for a store that he knows, and he wants to go to that store. So he jumps in the car and he goes to the store. He arrives, finds the store is closed, and I still need my product, so I'm going to go to another store. So he enters in the information, finds another store. But so he wants to check the reviews. So he's already on Google. He checks the reviews on Google. Reviews on Google, it's also showing him reviews, as we saw before in the previous slide. He sees reviews from Facebook. He sees reviews from, or he sees the average rating from Facebook, and then he calls to see if the place is open, and gets in and gets directions and goes to the store using Google. So here we've used Google, Advisor, Facebook, you know, several different platforms. We'll take a look at Ahmed. Ahmed checks recommendations on TripAdvisor. Maybe he's planning on going to have coffee with some friends at a coffee shop. He gets the recommendation with his friends. He does this on WhatsApp. Okay, and on WhatsApp, when you share a location, when you try to share this location, it draws that information from. Next time you try and do this, you type in the name, share location, and then type in the name. It'll say data provided by Foursquare or data provided by Facebook. Okay, it uses both of them. If your information there is incorrect on Foursquare, then it means that on WhatsApp you're not going to be able to see that information. So he jumps into his car and uses the navigation in order to get to the store, right, or the cafe. And in this case, then here on TomTom, because those 2 providers supply most of the car navigation systems in the world, you and many others, and many others. Then, you know, he's also sharing the location with his friends. So his friends all check the reviews, the hours, the phone number. Maybe they'll call ahead. Maybe they want to see the menus, and they'll through Google and Facebook. And once they arrive, they have a good time. They take pictures with their friends, and they post those pictures on. Have, you know, TripAdvisor, WhatsApp, Foursquare, Facebook, TomTom, here, Google, and Instagram, all interacting together in this one experience of an outing. Again, Foursquare important. Foursquare acts as a database for a lot of other applications that are out there. So if tomorrow I want to start an application for gyms or something like that in Cairo, I'm not going to look for all of the different. I'm going to create my application, and then I'm going to go to Foursquare to give me their hours and all that stuff. Take them for that to use their data. And here you can see on WhatsApp at the bottom, you can see Foursquare data is being used in order to provide these listings. This is all from Foursquare, even though this is WhatsApp. So sometimes it uses Facebook data if it can. If it can't, it'll use Foursquare data. As well, this is another on Apple Maps, and they're using Foursquare data as well. All the information here is being provided by Foursquare, as many others, including Uber and many others use it. About 150,000 developers use. You know, part of the reason for this is they don't use Foursquare, they use Foursquare and they don't use Google. A lot of the time, it's just cheaper to use. It's cheaper to use Foursquare. Maybe in some places, Foursquare data is actually. If we look at Google, about 150 million places worldwide. Okay, 150 million businesses worldwide, and about 25 million updates daily. So information is changing constantly. Information is not just the location, operating hours, phone number, category. Change the map marker, products, holiday hours, payment options, meals served, email, website, and many other fields that can be completed for each listing, right? So it's a monumental task. It's difficult to maintain all of this information. If you just want to think about it, within a couple of years, if you walk down the street, within say 4 or 5 years, walk down the street, and you will see that businesses are changing, they're closing, the hours are changing, the different information of those businesses, and Google can't maintain all of that information on its own. It can't do this all by itself, right? There's 1 billion monthly active users on Google Maps. And since it can't do it by itself, well, how does it do it? How does it information all the time? You know, I mean, they'll say, yes, I own this thing and manage it, but at the same time, I don't know. At the same time, I'm from well-intentioned people that are out there that see your stores closed, and they'll say operating hours have changed and they're closed, okay? Or there's no phone number. Google will also look at other databases. They'll check, they'll compare their data against data from other data providers, like Bing, like TomTom, like TripAdvisor, the other. But they're also checking to make sure that on these other. So if they find that the map marker is exactly the same, if they find that the hours of operation, if they find that the phone number is exactly the same, the address is the same, all that information, if it's all the same, then Google feels more confident that this is a real, and they will rank it higher and they will give it more. Because at the end of the day, Google cares about providing results for their customers. They care about providing search results that are relevant and that are actually going to work out. If I go to Google today and I search for a pharmacy, I go there, I find that it's closed and on Google open, then probably, you know, over time, I'll stop using Google. Google wants the information to be accurate. How does it attention people's databases to try and make sure that it has. You also have malicious people that go in and try and change data, you know, either, you know, I'm not sure, just for fun, or maybe get some kind of, you know, advantage and commercially over competitors, and that's also something to keep in mind. So as we said, Google and all of the other players in the ecosystem are constantly checking their data against each other. And if they find that their data is the same between the, they think that then they feel more confident that Google has data that says open from 12 a.m. Then it finds that Facebook has the same information for the same location, and TripAdvisor and all the others. Then I think this place is really real and open at this time. It's really being managed. an example of a customer. And the idea is thousands of customers are searching today. The one on the left is not one of our customers or our clients, and the one on the right is one of our clients. And on the left, there is no branding, there is no menus, there is no website, no hours, no pictures. It's a pizza place as well. Even the category is just restaurant. And in the same mall as a client of ours, and you can see what their look like. There's a logo, there's information, there's a menu. If you click here, you'll be able to see the menu. If you go to the pictures, you'll find lots of pictures posted, and everything is correct. Find this listing, you're encouraged to go to this business, and that's the conversion part. Before. So just to wrap up, this is kind of a little bit of a small is we do listings management. We control all your listings from one central platform, and we keep your information up to date and protected. We do reputation and reviews management, all of your reviews across the internet, and we put it on one dashboard for you, and this is all via APIs. We also do menus and product list management. So manage all of your menus and product lists from a central dashboard. You enter all that information there, and it gets pushed out to all the different platforms, Facebook, TripAdvisor, etc. And as well, analytics. So we gather analytics from the internet, and we create reports for you, and you have access to those reports. And we don't do this for Google, Facebook, and TripAdvisor. We do this platforms all at the same time to ensure that your information is always correct wherever it's viewed. And just in case, just to wrap it up, in case you were oh, I'm sorry, I saw a message here from Hassan. How can you encourage customers to review your store? There's various different ways to do it. One of them is through our platform. We actually have an email that basically it sends out, if you have an email list for your customers, then we can send out to emails to all the customers with a review for location. So you can basically say, for example, for this location, for my second location, I have 5 customers, and it will send out, Mithat, thank you for visiting our, and do a review for us. And if it's a different branch, it'll talk about the other branch. The second we have is we have a platform for using QR codes and NFC to basically make it easy for customers to review specific stores. Today, if you go to a store and it says, "Oh, review us on Google," the person still has to go and find the location on Google, find the review page, and make the review. Our technology allows you to simply directly to that location's, that specific locations where he's standing, that location's review page. So you can simply enter the review and be done. We as well have some filtering techniques where we ask the customer initially whether or not, what his experience. If he says that his experience was good, then we encourage him afterwards to review us on Google and Facebook, etc. If it was bad, then we note the bad review, but we don't encourage them to review it on Google or Facebook. If he wants to go later on and do it himself, he can do it, but we don't provide those links to him then. And there's various other ways to kind of play around with it, but these are kind of the main ideas. I mean, we can also provide links that can be SMS customers, and they can go to specific locations and be able to review them there as well. And you can also, just to close that out, you can also make offers. So with the QR code, it can be an offer, for example, 5% off if you give us a review or something like that. Yeah, I guess I was at the end of the presentation, and I was, just in case you're in Dubai Mall and want some good desserts, this is the place. It's Turkish, but they have lots of different sweets. It's not just Turkish sweets. And they're really, really excellent. So it's Hafiz Mustafa, and here's their phone number, because we actually, in the end, did it. It was located in the right place, so it wasn't located in the right spot, but we found it. And since we didn't know the name, there was no way we were going to find it. But eventually we found it. But as you can see as well, the phone number, sorry. The phone number is not listed here. So still some missing information. In the morning, this only reviews, and now they have 12. So it seems fast. That's pretty much the end of it. Questions or concerns, you can reach out to me, I guess, on Facebook. Feel free to add me as a friend, and you can reach us at these phone numbers, and we're happy to meet, talk, give you advice. Just all right. Thank you very much. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer any more questions. All right. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to present to you, and thanks for the opportunity.